The bright sunshine we enjoy.
Electronic monitoring companies in Louisiana calls for more to be done to ensure they are properly used to address juvenile crime.
As Rob Masson reports, experts say if supervised inappropriately, they can actually do more harm than good, and judges say they're weighing their options.
That's people on ankle monitor calling a text line.
At ASAP Release Monitoring in Mid-City, the phone rings constantly.
They must enroll with our enforcement text line.
ASAP monitors more than 300 offenders who've been released from jail using electronic monitors, but all are adults.
I think with what limited space we have in all of our jails, if we use it wisely, we can make sure that the right juveniles are in jail and the right juveniles are out of jail.
ASAP has stayed away from the juvenile justice system because they say judges frequently show too much leniency and are not held accountable due to juvenile justice secrecy laws.
How are you going to solve it in juvenile court? Until you guys can see what's happening, you're not. And that's our biggest problem right now.
Matt Dennis wants the New Orleans City Council to adopt new standards for the use of electronic monitors in the juvenile system, similar to those being used in Baton Rouge.
If you have a non-responsive juvenile court, no matter who's watching them, it's useless.
Dennis says if juveniles are allowed to do things like cut off electronic monitors with no repercussions, they can actually do more harm than good.
If you use ankle monitors wrong, you create a worse environment because you take somebody that's getting in trouble and knows it, put them in a program that says this will stop you, and you teach them it won't. And that's a disaster.
This is not the first time that ASAP Release has appealed to the city in an effort to try and make the juvenile justice system more accountable. They appeared before City Council earlier this year.
They removed them from our program because we were too proactive.
The Metropolitan Crime Commission says electronic monitoring can be a useful tool to deal with offenders and limited juvenile jail space.
JJIC, the Juvenile Justice Center, I think their capacity is under 40 beds. I'm not exactly sure. And that remains full. That means that for anybody that goes in, somebody needs to come out.
But Rafael Goyeneche says the program needs to be properly supervised to serve as a deterrent to offenders who are being given a second chance outside of a detention facility. And Matt Dennis says until juvenile judges properly enforce rules governing the use of electronic monitors, his company's involvement will be limited. Chief Juvenile Court Judge Candace Anderson says she is interested in any real-time monitoring system, but she says cost is a factor. She says she's exploring options. Meg?
Thank you, Rob.